yeah, because he's only on Channel 9, whereas Adam Hills has been on the BBC and Channel 4.
Yeah.
So he wins, and he has to go all the way down to 9. They beat South Sydney Rabbitohs 34 points to 12 at ANZ Stadium in Sydney. Anthony Seaward's opening try and 2 scores from Will Maudsley put the Wire 18-6 ahead at half-time. Maudsley completed his hat-trick before Luke Potter and Seaward went over to seal the win. Seaward had a round trip of 450 miles from his home in Devon to Warrington in order to train and play for the team, who are the top-ranked side in England.
Well, top-ranked side in the world, I think, is the
they are now. Yeah.
is the thing we need to add into that. So this is a fantastic achievement. I think it's great growth for the sport as well.
If you want to know a bit more about PDRL and what the players think, go and have a look at the BBC's Challenge Cup coverage. And when they're talking to Adam Hills at the beginning, he does sort of give you an idea of the mindset and the sort of things they have to think about, because it was quite eye-opening for me. So definitely do go and check that out.
Do you know what? Obviously, I was at the Challenge Cup final. I didn't see all the build-up and stuff like that until the next day, and I didn't watch all of the build-up because I didn't have time to fit that in. But since the Challenge Cup final, I have been out with my wife, Emma, who's not really interested in rugby per se, but seems to be getting more interested secretly on the sly. And things like PDRL and the women's game are things that she is engaging with. And she loved the interview with Adam Hills. And I've been with her twice where she's told other people about that interview and about what he said, and how he reacted to the questions that he was asked about. How do you take awareness of other people's disabilities when you're on the field? And his answer was, well, we use them to our advantage. We know where their weaknesses are.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I was involved in sitting volleyball for a while, so I know that sort of thing, and it's a very similar sort of thing of way of thinking and how they play against each other, and it's eye-opening.
But yeah, also you sat down is still probably relatively tall, isn't it? You're still probably I was a smash.
Now you won't believe this, but I was refereeing.
Oh my God! You didn't punch a disabled person, did you?
No, I wasn't a very good referee, but I didn't get involved physically with them. But I actually did my course with some of the London 2012 Great Britain squad. So that was who did my refereeing course. They were all on the same course because it was in the middle of one of their camps. But that was brilliant to be involved in, and sitting volleyball did enjoy refereeing probably more than normal volleyball, than standing up volleyball, because it was just a much faster game. As much as anything, you just get a much quicker game.
I think that's one of the great things you see in the PDRL game as well. Is it still is played at an intensity and speed, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not obviously the same speed consistently throughout all the people in the side, but within there, there'll be a bloke with one arm, but is rapid sort of thing.
Yeah, and the way they adapt around the disabilities, so they know, okay, we need to be on your right shoulder or come on your left shoulder, and that whole extra tactical dimension for me is fascinating, because I love that tactical thinking as it is in a normal situation. So having that extra element and that sort of extra chess level on top is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and well done to the Warrington Wolves PDRL side for their victory. Okay, that is news from around the world of rugby league and a few other notes.
Yeah, on the topic of Blossoms and the grand final, do you think you're going to be able to persuade Owen to come to the grand final now?
No. Well, if Wigan are there, she won't be able to come and sit with me anyway, because, I love her and I don't want her to lose her. Basically.
Well, I'll keep her company, and we'll enjoy the music and just the general ambience, and you can be going and getting angry down on the touchline.
But do you know what? It would make her more engaged to come. She was interested about it, but she's been interested when it's been James and Charlatans and people like that in recent years as well. Okay, that is the news well and truly covered, and a few special nuggets aside, I think, today. We're now going to move on to the Super 8's match reviews. Super 8's match reviews now, sponsored by Rob's Toy Shop on eBay. Find a wide range of toys, gifts, rugby league birthday cards and more at Rob's Toy Shop on eBay. Visit stores.ebay.co.uk/Rob's Toy Shop, and on any orders over £5 you can earn 5% cash back, and also 1% of your order value will go to the SLP coffers. To make sure that you achieve those things, put SLP discount in at checkout. Get all your back to school gear. Talked about that, didn't we, last week? You can get all that from Rob's Toy Shop.
It is back to school time. I did notice the roads were a little bit busier this morning. No doubt tomorrow it will be busier, and social media feed will be full of kids standing in front of doors and fireplaces.
I've already seen a few kids in front of doors, yeah, holding satchels and the like. All branded to fuck. Like, when we were kids, I'm pretty sure I didn't have things branded by my school other than the jumper that I wore.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely, yeah. All I had was, jumper was the only thing that was...
PE kit.
I think we just had plain... Kit. I think we had plain white PE kit. Yeah. But... And all we had was a plastic reading folder. That was all you had was your plastic reading folder.
Yes.
None of these branded bags or anything you see now.
Probably you're not even allowed, like, different lunch boxes in case some kid who gets upset that you like a cartoon that they don't like, and some parent writes a letter about it.
Yeah. Or you might bring in a Castleford themed lunchbox and upset someone because you keep going on about champions and don't let it go.
Well, I'm sure you can find a wide range of stuff with the words #champions all over it at Rob's Toy Shop on eBay. He certainly makes ordering stuff from him fun. If he knows who you are, I would say that about Rob's Toy Shop.
I would definitely agree with that one.
Okay, round 3 it was of the Super 8s. The average attendance in the 4 Super League Super 8s games was 8,692, which on paper is a reasonable number, but I would be wanting more at this stage of the season.
Because every minute matters.
Every minute mattered until about the 4th minute on Thursday night when the round kicked off with Warrington Wolves hosting Hull FC. Were Warrington going to suffer a cup final hangover? Could Hull FC bounce back from being out of form? Well, 8,101 people and Liam Moore, who was the referee, all found out conclusively that Hull FC could not find some form and Warrington could indeed bounce back from the Challenge Cup final defeat. 80 points to 10 it ended. Hull
That's how you spell bounce back ability.
A point a minute in this fixture. Loads of fan reviews in on this one. So many that probably they'll say everything, so we don't need to say very much aside from a few chuckles here and there. Carsten, do you want to start with our friend the Swiss Cowboy first?
Yeah, Swiss Cowboy himself said, "What an embarrassment for every Hull FC fan. Radders sent his players out 4 minutes early at half-time, but most of them headed mentally directly to the team bus. Hopefully all Hull FC co-host and SLP family members are still in good mental health after that massacre. Impressive with Bryson Goodwin with 5 tries, and I lost count how many goals Tyrone Roberts kicked, but Mark will have the stats."
About how many goals they kicked?
12 he kicked
Tyrone
out of 14.
Kicked 12 from 14, yeah. Do you know what? We did have some of our Hull FC, the members of the SLP family there. Sarah, her dad John, and her son Joshua were there. And
Sarah's book, because Sarah took her book as well.
Sarah's book, famously, as well. And to be honest, I feel a bit guilty here because we've missed something out from the shout-out section of the show. It was young Joshua Mackenzie's birthday at the weekend, and he was able to celebrate with a barely used gleaming pair of pink boots courtesy of Jamie Shaw. So even after all of that, what they had to witness sticking around was worthwhile for Joshua. So that's fantastic, and well done to Jamie Shaw for making a young kid's night on what would have otherwise been a very, very miserable journey across the Pennines for them. So happy birthday belatedly to
Happy birthday, Joshua.
And congratulations to him for his new boots that he definitely will not fit in for some time yet.
If ever.
Ollie Smith said, "Almost think Leeds could beat Hull these days." Winky face, sticky outy tongue. Some serious questions need to be asked at Hull though, and I'm not sure where you'd start.
Why?
Where would you start? Like, my first question actually would be to the players. Like, are we going to bother for the rest of these matches? That'd be my first question.
It comes down to standards, doesn't it?
Because I'd be asking them,
what do you think is
do they really
acceptable?
think they deserve to get paid?
Well, yeah. Well, maybe they're signing Jack White in for next season. Who knows? Shoddy and Mungo, Alan said, I think we need to agree what the Super League equivalent of Bali is to the NRL, and that's certainly where Hull are. Is it Marbella, Ibiza?
I think it's
Clapton Sands.
It's now wherever Ollie Holmes went, where he fell asleep on someone's boat. That's so. I think it was one of the Greek islands or something like that, or maybe no, it was off Croatia. So yeah, maybe that, or like the Bulgarian coast or something. Somewhere like that might be where we're looking. Yeah. Is it Sunny Beach? Is it called in Bulgaria, where all the sort of touristy kind of stuff happens?
I don't know.
That might be the new one. Paul Mac _78 said, bloody hell, 80-10. Imagine the score if Scoots had been hosting this week. Hull co-host.
See, interestingly, I was working this out.
Review of the week.
I think I've got the opposite, Kurt. I think whenever I'm on, Rovers win. I mean, no doubt stats will prove me wrong, and it's just I can remember the last two. But certainly, I think Rovers tend to win more than they lose when I'm co-hosting.
Don't rub it in even more. Poor Sarah.
Well, sorry, I was just, praising my own good fortune for once.
For once, yeah, fair enough. I'll give you your time in the sun, definitely.
I mean, we're still in a lower league position. Let's not hide away from it. But which is the interesting thing, because obviously if we are carrying on in a regular league structure, it would be very different at this point, wouldn't it? How much they would have slipped down.
It would have been interesting. They probably couldn't have gone all the way down so far.
No.
But yeah, interesting stuff.
Would they? But yeah, would they be bottoming out at this point, or is it a chicken and egg? Are they only switching off like this because they know now that every minute does not in fact matter?
Interesting.
But there we go.
Rich, who is it to read out?
Rich Langley.
Is it?
He says because I did Alan. If the players can't be bothered, don't see why I should be. 2018 is not just dead; it's chopped up, covered in petrol, burnt, and then buried in a deep, dark hole. Thankfully, we aren't in the middle eights. Otherwise, we'd be going to York next year.
You could be anyway if we managed to keep the structure around. You could be anyway. At Mike Dodd 22, the other side of the coin on this one. Well, that's one way of getting over a cup hangover. Admittedly, Hull were abysmal, but Wire took advantage of a free-flowing performance with very few errors to leave the fans wondering where that was last week. Too many quality performances to mention, but Philbin and often forgotten about Jack Hughes were excellent. Godwin wasn't bad either. That's the understatement of the week.
He was, 5 tries and it wasn't bad, yeah. I'd take that. Wasn't bad every week. Paul Chamberlain said, I know Hull have some injuries, but feeding the PDRL side seems a bit off.
Warrington's PDRL side have just champions of the world, mate. They might have had a good go.
I think that's harsh on the PDRL lads. I can't imagine that there's been a performance that limp since the stripper at Joe Brand's hen do. Hull are a disgrace to the competition. At least with 1 up, 1 down, we can insulate these clubs, and players look forward to even more safe middle table mediocrity. Oh, and Radford should walk fairly soon before he is pushed. Is it Lee Radford's fault though? Is that Lee Radford's fault?
I don't know. I don't know. I'd say it starts at the top in terms of like you're getting your motivation right and that sort of stuff, but there's enough senior players in that group to say that they might be the top in that sort of regard at this stage of the season. Lee Radford set them up to do what they should do. They didn't quite achieve those goals, and I don't think it's up to him to set the professional standards when they step out onto the field. It's up to the players, isn't it? So yeah, I feel a little bit sorry for Radford in how this has come around, because really he's done such a fantastic job over the last 2 years since the shutout. Witness. Yeah, but Paul is doing a fine job at getting himself in the running for some SLP awards this year with reviews like that.